so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked. That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up, and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are live. Welcome back, boys and girls. Welcome to the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast, episode number 196. My name is Casey, also known as Razinon, and I have breaking news. The union of the co-hosts of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty podcast have caved. They have rescinded each and every demand that was made, and as I suspected they would, as the QA teams are soon to follow, because we are trendsetters here. We kind of set the pace for the industry, really. They will also, of course, be caving to the employer and not the demands. As the union for the co-hosts of the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast have caved. So welcome back, Tanner. You've crawled back, tail between your legs. Did you expect your unreasonable demands to be met? I'm very curious, because here you are, none of your demands were met, yet you're back on the cam anyways.
The demands were, yeah, I have no idea.
Well, I can leak the email if you want. I can send it to Reuters. There can be a whole fucking news story about it.
Got it.
So you're recovering from SARS-CoV-2 19 2021 22 flu pandemic. How are you feeling? You got a little cup of tea and or coffee in your cup, your little mug. It's not a Dropshot mug, which is interesting.
It's not big enough for what I had. Yeah, this was a latte, so it wouldn't fit in that little tiny mug. That's a coffee mug, not a latte mug. You know that, you dumb bitch.
I do know that.
You're a former barista, so you should know. You probably don't, because you're garbage. You were garbage and shit at your job, so.
Got it.
Just like you are at this one.
How are you feeling today? How has your experience with COVID been? By the way, works from home, gets COVID. LA jiggle, man.
LA jiggle, huh?
How's the experience been? Is it as bad as everyone says?
I don't think this strain, or whatever we're calling it now, is that bad.
So you think you got Omicron, or
I think that's
Omicron?
I'm pretty sure that's what's like 90+% of the cases are now.
Yeah, I suspect you did, because it wasn't that bad, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's not that bad. Kind of just kind of don't have taste or smell right now, but it just seems like when you're sick and you lose your taste and smell, nothing worse than that. So, and it's not completely gone; it's just like muted. And
yeah, you still sound a little sick.
Yeah, I feel better today mostly. Still just kind of feel like out of it at times, like, I don't know, just tired, like you're sick. That's pretty much it. But yeah, other than that, doing fine for the most part.
That's good. I mean, you always seem somewhat out of it to me, but whatever. We'll take that. So welcome to the show. If you're new here, by the way, we have timestamps. We have a big episode today, lot to talk about related to Call of Duty. And if you're new, we once again, we start with announcements. If you want to skip that, you can. There are timestamps in the show notes and or video description if you're watching this on YouTube. So feel free to skip ahead. You shouldn't. The announcements are the best part of the show, but you can if you want. The option is there, and I've timestamped it for your convenience. Takes me hours, okay? So figure it out. Or not. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Now, as I said, a lot to talk about today. Before we get into the show, let's get through those announcements. Welcome to our new gold. A little light on the new patrons this week, I'm going to be honest.
It's fucking embarrassing. Don't they know I have like medical bills from COVID to pay?
We have medical bills, we have vet bills, we have cat housing, feeding, grooming, all kinds of expenses.
Said that grooming is a bad word now.
Oh, I didn't even put. Okay, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Can't even say grooming anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Bathing, whatever. A lot of expenses that are just being unmet. And here I thought naively, new year, new beginnings for the program. You know, feeling really invigorated and ready to just start the year on a good note. And then this happens, right? This happens. We have a pathetic showing, really. So 2 people managed to go to patreon.com/dropshot and sign up for 5 bonus episodes a month. And that's great. And I applaud these people, but there need to be more of you, right? We get like 3,000 downloads an episode, yet we got 2 new patrons this week. So something isn't adding up, and it's cringe. Patreon.com/dropshot. Now, again, all of you should be ashamed of yourselves if you're not patrons. That's fine, but come on. But these 2 shouldn't. Zemnis1, absolutely change it, obviously. But welcome one of our new gold patrons, an absolute Chad and a king, and we appreciate it. And also Reese A. Doesn't look like a real name, but if it is, cool, I guess.
How's that not a real name?
That last name doesn't look real. Sounds fake. Sounds like a character in like the novel Dune would have this last name. It doesn't seem real to me. I've never heard it before.
You ever met anyone named Reese?
Either. Reese, unfortunately I've met a Reese or 2. Yeah, not great people.
I was about to say the same thing. They're never good people.
Yeah, they really aren't. And this guy probably isn't either, especially because he listens to this podcast, let alone spends money on it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some serious problems if we're doing that. All of you should, but you would have problems if you do. But hey, Reese, welcome aboard, brother. And thanks to both of you for signing up. Really appreciate it. Once again, patreon.com/dropshot on a serious note. Best way to support the show. And that's where we offer all of our bonus content. First and foremost, of course, is the 5 bonus episodes per month. Now, speaking of Patreon bonus episodes, some of you might be here being like, hey, you guys say you do 5 bonus episodes a month, but there have been 0 for January. That might be true, but there will end up being 5 for January. And also, the most recent, the newest Patreon episode will be going live today at 2 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're here live, that'll be in an hour and 43 minutes. And if you're listening on an app, the Patreon episode is already live. Bonus episode 69, nice, in which we did another much needed, I would say, I'll add, Warzone Brainstorm episode, which I really enjoyed, even by Warzone Brainstorm standards. It's one of my favorite episode types we do on the Patreon. And this one was exceptional, even by those standards. There was a lot to revisit from our last brainstorm. So some things we kind of tried and came back with. Some opinions were a bit revised or refined.
Yeah.
And a lot of good strategies, particularly Tanner's big brain, shockingly, big brain gulag strat.
Ooh.
His win percentage is like, what, 80, 90% in this gulag with this strat? It's 110%. So if you want a 110%, he's won gulags he hasn't even been in. That's how high his percentage is. So if you want that strat, dude, patreon.com/dropshot. Bonus episode 69. For real, it's a good strat. It's a cute strat. I haven't been to the gulag since. I've played so many games. I haven't been to the gulag yet since. But if I do get 4th partied and end up in the gulag, I'll be sure to use this strat. But a lot of shit we talked about too. We revisited the last episode. I had a really interesting idea that I want to see tried. I'm very excited for it to come out to get feedback, but it's a good episode. So if you want in on that, if you're listening on an app, it's live now. And if you're here live, it'll be live pretty much when we're wrapping up here. That was the intention. So there you go. Now, next item of business. You guys are really fucking up, is what I'm trying to get at. Okay. This is not good. I'm trying to shame all of you. We got a very strongly worded email from our sponsor over at MANSCAPED. Okay. Now, MANSCAPED, the #1 leading men's grooming products company on earth, in my opinion, and in Tanner's opinion.
In our opinion, yeah. In the LLC.
Who have been very kind to us. No cap. very generous, very kind, very gracious, sending us free product on top of course, compensation. They sent us a very disappointed and strongly worded email.
I can see the tears through the email.
Yeah, there was a video clip attached of our representative crying. I mean, he was crying and pissing his pants. It was really sad. That's a joke. There was no video clip in the email, but we did get a strongly worded email in which he said, guys, listen, we love you. And I'm paraphrasing, but we need to get those numbers up. Okay. Now, Manscaped we said it a year ago. This is our dream sponsor. Okay. Their ethos are very in line with ours. They make great products. Cox, exactly. And then you guys are fucking our ass. And I won't stand for it. Okay. So we need more of you. And listen, I already know most of you don't bathe ever. Let's change that habit for the new year. Let's start bathing more than once a month. And with that, you'll need some items to groom yourself with. Go to manscaped.com, use promo code Dropshot, get 20% off your entire order, and support the show. Don't let us lose our dream sponsorship because you guys are trash people. I won't stand for it. I simply won't stand for it. We have disappointed Manscaped and we need to bring it back, okay? Manscaped.com, use promo code Dropshot. And if you forget, guess what, bitch? We're going to have another ad in this episode, in fact. Oops. Because you're not doing enough and it's your fault, listener. Mm-hmm. It is 100% your fault and you should be ashamed. So go to patreon.com/thedropshot first. Get a Damascus annual membership, and then go to manscaped.com, get a thick fucking basket, and use promo code Dropshot. Save yourself 20%. Support us, support Manscaped, who also supports us. Everybody wins, including you. And the people whom you have to unfortunately interact with in real life sometimes. You won't smell like a dumpster when you are checking out at Walmart. Dude. And be a nice person and do that. For yourself and for everyone else.
That body wash, by the way, fucks, dude.
Yeah.
That stuff smells good. Oh my goodness, yeah. So order your shit. Or just, I don't know. I'm upset with you, though. I'm very upset with you. We're upset with you, yeah. I mean... How fucking dare you, man.
It's just crazy that it's come to this, and I won't, once again, I will not stand for it.
Yeah.
And guess what? We'll know. We'll know. If you guys don't do your part, we'll know, and we'll punish you.
Yep.
So it's that simple. Manscaped.com, promo code Dropshot, 20% off and free shipping, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Okay. So figure it the fuck out now. Thanks in advance. So real rough start to this year, guys. I don't know if we're going to finish this episode. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
Maybe we just end it there. We could just call it there.
We may as well.
We have a lot to talk about, but maybe we just won't. Maybe we'll withhold that until we boost that ROI.
Yeah, I agree.
We could, but let me think on it. One more announcement from me. On a brighter note here, Warzone Roundtable is scheduled. It is going to be on the 22nd. And I think it's going to be at our normal time, right? Do we know?
Sorry, I just sneezed. I don't know. Did we set a time?
We set a time.
I don't know
remember
if we
what
did.
That time is. It might be 1 p.m. It might be 12 p.m. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You guys don't have a social life, so you'll be home either way. Listen, January 22nd at a time. It's sometime in the afternoon. I think it's either 12, 1, or 2 p.m. I'm leaning pretty heavily toward 12 or 1 p.m., and I think it's 1 p.m. If I had to guess, it's at 1 p.m., but maybe it's 12 p.m. We're going to do a Warzone roundtable. You guys seem to love these episodes because they're excellent. We love doing them. It's been too long since we did a Warzone roundtable, and it will have been the first one since Caldera came out. And we took great care to have some pro Caldera guests, some anti-Caldera guests, Bushdera guests maybe, and some middling opinions of Caldera. And then in addition to talking about the new map, we'll of course be talking about other things related to Warzone. Obviously, the weapon integration, the perk changes, the equipment changes. A lot. There's so much to talk about. So that episode, I am genuinely really excited to just do, let alone put out into the ether for you guys to listen to, because I think this is going to be the best. Well, I think this is going to be which is a camo you don't have, and I do.
Don't.
The best Warzone roundtable episode we've ever done. I think by like a country mile, as John Denver might say. What are your thoughts? Tell us about this Warzone roundtable. How excited are you, Tanner?
I agree. I'm very excited to do this one. It'll be just so much different since we're on a new map and everything. New everything, really.
Yeah.
So I like our guests too. Some of them I hate, really, but
some
they're
of
on
them
anyways.
I fucking cannot
I don't know why we even invited half of them. Some of them are terrible. But yeah, I don't know. Should we leak the guest list?
We can leak the guest list. Yeah, I like leaking the guest list.
What's the guest list? Do we know for sure? Where's it at? Pull it up. Pull it up and leak the guest list for us.
Well, I don't know where it is, but I'm going to do this off of memory. So we're going to have 8 guests on the Warzone roundtable. Some are going to be returning faces, unfortunately. Some are going to be some new, fun, and exciting additions. So first and foremost, and most importantly, because men are pigs, we finally have some female representation on a roundtable.
Pigs, I agree.
Which is just so needed. It's absolutely necessary, and we should be flogged, frankly, for not having done this sooner. But we're finally going to get some female representation, a fan favorite, friend of the program, whose name is terrible, and I don't condone it. But besides that, she's a great person. Praying_mantis_princess. Formerly known as Double D Cup Leia or something. I don't remember what her old name was. I call her Leia.
Yeah, that's what it'll always be.
A Chad, a goddess, a friend of the pod. And she's going to bring a lot of balance to an otherwise unruly Warzone roundtable. We're very excited to have her. We're also going to have longtime listener, longtime friend of the pod. Many of you know him. Some of you love him. L thinks he can swing a baseball bat better than him. Division 1 athlete, by the way. Pretty wide shoulders, too, but not as wide as mine. Mullet-proof Bunk, a.k.a. Jimbo Slice, a.k.a. Mullet-proof Mute, a.k.a. the finance guy in Discord. Independently wealthy, wildly successful, giant brain, although once again, not quite as big as mine. And friend of the pod, likable guy. Very excited to have him on as well. He will be another new face. These two were our attempt to have some more average player representation. I don't know what their KDs are exactly, but I know they're not fucking 8.0 like Jake and whatever. So that's going to be
they're
kind
both
of
better
that
than you,
slot.
so.
They probably are, yes. So then 1.51 KD, by the way, will be on 1.84 Caldera KD. It's unbelievable. I'll be on as well, unfortunately, for many of you. Tanner will be on as well, unfortunately, for all of you. And then I think we have Cam Wilkes returning from the UK. Shout out to Cam. I think we have Cope, who is anti-Caldera. He's going to be the voice of the pessimist.
Anti-Caldera, but plays it more than anyone. So
that is of course true. Yes.
He's a stupid fucking loser. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. I think L is going to be back. La Voxino, formerly known as L2K Greatness. Homosexual man, not that there's anything wrong with that. Get outed once again. He pretends to be mad every time I say that, like he doesn't tell every single person he's talked to for more than 5 minutes. LA giggle. And then last and maybe least, because I'm forgetting their name. Who am I forgetting?
For sure the least, yeah.
Last
and least. Lag.
Team captain, the only good teammate I've ever had.
He does,
Canadian.
He does care about his teammates.
the regainer. That's Lag's biggest asset is a regain. If there's one man alive on the Force team, you want it to be Lag Show.
Yeah.
So he's going to be on the program as well. And that's the roster.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that roster? Are you pretty excited?
I think it's a solid roster. I'm so glad Jake's not on it. I don't ever want to hear.
Yeah.
Jake would probably dodge every question anyway, so I'm glad he's not on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be nice to have a female voice. Maybe get some more male listeners in there or something. You know.
How do you think she's gonna do?
I think she'll be pissing, shitting, and farting in her pants.
She's got a good relationship with many of the people on this call. I think she's going to be sufficiently comfortable. We, unlike Activision, do try to foster an environment of equality and acceptance of all people. That's why we have a gay man on the program. That's why we have a Canadian, a British person, a female, to kind of balance out the rest of us who are just white pieces of shit.
Lag can be considered disabled too. He can't smell or taste, so.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lag.
Yeah,
we're hitting all the marks here. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, and Lag's like like a character from the Wizard of Oz. He's got a metal skull for replacing, part of his brain probably. It would explain a lot. But yeah, I think Leia's going to be a good addition. I think it's going to go well. She likes Elle a lot.
But she doesn't like Elle. I think she knows
like
mullet well and cope well. So I think that'll be good. Maybe she'll make Cope talk. Usually he's shitting in his little tiny chair, so maybe he'll actually speak and say a word this time.
Yeah, Cope is who I'm most nervous about because he's going to be pretty much the only person, as far as I know, who just fucking cannot stand Caldera.
And playing it right now plays it more than anyone. So yeah, we had
7 out of 8 slots filled. And everyone else was kind of, cowering, shivering, shaking, rather. And then I said, Cope, you are on. And he said, got it. Like a real team player. So, okay, so Cope's on. So we wanted him in particular because we love Cope, obviously, another Canadian, but also because he fucking hates Caldera. And I want to bring that perspective because many of you are going to, who listen probably don't like this map, and certainly many of you probably like it less than Verdansk. So I'm very excited for this. We can't have everyone we wanted to have on. There were a ton of other people we wanted on. Raiden, friend of the pod, for example. We wanted Tfue on, but we just couldn't really fill the slot for him. And there are Shroud. There are others too, but we want to try and kind of keep some returning faces, get some new people in, and kind of keep that trend going into future roundtables. But if someone's not on who used to be on, they'll be back. Don't worry about it. And then, vice versa, whatever. So very excited for that roundtable. But other than that, once again, January 22nd, take the day off work. It's going to be an event. It's going to be an event that is only second to the following week, the 29th, which is of course our 2-year celebration. And this is shaping up to be quite an episode because when we thought of what we were going to do, we had some ideas. Now we're adding to that list. Since the last episode, we've added an idea to this list, an announcement to make, a thing we're going to do that the community is going to love. Okay. And we're not leaking it now. Some of you with brains might figure it out, but we're not leaking it yet. Okay, and we're going to leak it with details on the 29th, and it's going to be fun and exciting. A lot of festivities planned. So the 22nd and the 29th, get them off of work. Stop flipping burgers or serving lattes for a Saturday or two and be here live at thedropshot.com/live. Other than that, Tanner, any announcements from you?
No.
All right, if you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
I'm gonna fill up my water.
See, in Oxford J, I'm looking forward to hearing Cope's views because he's the only person with the correct one. Which is to say Oxford J is anti-Caldera. Exactly. So you're wrong, of course, and we'll get into it on the 22nd. But that's why we want Cope to be there, to be your voice, your representative. Because this is a representative democracy. It's an empire. It's a dictatorship. Welcome to the show. So today we got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, a lot of changes, and a lot of news. We've gotten our mid-season 1 update for Vanguard and Warzone. Our first mid-season update of the new title and of the new Warzone map. So there is a ton to dive into. Let's get started. First, playlist updates. There's double XP at some point in a weekend. I don't care when. I didn't write it down. I thought about it and said no, because it's every weekend. So if it's a weekend, there's double XP. Cool. Also, featured playlists for Vanguard have been updated. Trifecta Mosh Pit, Bloodshed Blitz, Eastern Front, and then we are keeping Shiphouse 24/7, which is the only relevant playlist of those 4. We've also gotten our playlist schedule for the rest of the month of January for Warzone and Rebirth Island. Caldera for the week of January 13th. Vanguard Plunder Trios, which we'll get into. And then regular BR, solos, duos, trios, and quads. No Vanguard Royale for this week. For this first week of the mid-season update, which is very interesting. I'm okay with it, though. I'm done with fucking planes. And more importantly, I'm done with the dog shit Vanguard Royale vehicles. If those vehicles were normal, I would be fine with the bud. But anyways, regular BR's back in all iterations. Rebirth Island, duos, trios, quads. Week of January 20th, Vanguard Royale's only quads. Plunder trios, and then BR solos, duos, trios, quads for the remainder of the month. Rebirth Island Resurgence, trios, quads, and then for the week of the 27th, Vanguard Resurgence trios, which is different than just Resurgence, by the way. Yes, it is, by the way. BR, all of them. Plunder trios, which is also different than Vanguard Plunder trios, in the same way that Vanguard Royale is different than Battle Royale. And then Rebirth Island, Resurgence, duos, and quads. So, once again, I can't stress enough how little sense this makes. Have Vanguard Royale and Battle Royale in all 4 modes at all times and never not do that. I don't get why they don't do this at all times. But cool, here we are. But at least we have regular BR every iteration for the entire rest of the month. Are you excited to get back to Battle Royale, or are you worried that you're only going to die to a Swiss K31 and a Cold War OTS-9 or some other old gun?
No, I don't. I'm fine with regular BR. I don't know. I see there's been a lot of hate on, a lot of angry people on Twitter about the Vanguard mode coming out. Way more people like that Vanguard mode than I would have imagined. But everyone's same thing is always like, I'm so sick of dying to heartbeat sensors or this or that, and they say all this shit, and I'm like, you don't play regular BR, because I've never once seen anyone pull out a heartbeat on a kill cam. It just doesn't happen. You
Literally.
see, I find them on the ground. You see shitters run them, but it's like they're so bad on this map. Like, why are you even complaining about that? I don't know. People just like to, I think, bitch about things like that. So I'm with you. People say Vanguard Royale dies out slower, which is just wrong, because planes now, if you get one good person in a plane, there's 30 people dead in the first minute.
It's like ruining a Battlefield server. Yeah,
it's just not that. I mean, we had played regular the other day trios for a second, and we still hadn't gotten our loadout, and there were 74 people left in the Vanguard mode, whereas in regular BR we would have probably been at like 110, 120. There's 74 left. It's like I've never seen it that low that fast. So planes.
Yep.
So yeah, I like regular BR better, and it's weird they can't just keep them both in. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I share your sentiment that I think, because one concern again with regular BR, the biggest one I hear is that people are annoyed they're dying to old guns, mainly like a Swiss K31. That's like the most common complaint. It's like, dude, this guy's just using a Swiss. I don't know, man. I think people have now learned the Vanguard weapons and where they fit into the meta well enough that people are starting to, by and large, use those, even in regular BR when they're not restricted to just those. Like, I wouldn't use any fully automatic rifle besides a Bren before the changes. Like, it's better than every Cold War, or it was better than every Cold War. We'll get into it. It was better than every Cold War gun and Modern Warfare gun as well. So it's like people are starting to figure out how these Vanguard weapons work and what's really good. And that's kind of what we expected. I expected it to happen a little sooner, to be honest, but now we're there. And I think even regular BR is going to be just the best of both worlds, where you don't die to old guns anymore. You can still use your Vanguard guns and be super competitive because we've learned what works.
Yeah.
The Hipfire PPSH build is another example of this. That's been in the game since day one, but people didn't figure it out for fucking 6 weeks. Shit like this is going to kind of keep happening. So that's where we're at, and I'm with you. I'm very excited we get to play regular BR. Vanguard Royale is cringe. So anyways, now patch notes, changes already in effect. A lot to discuss today. So first of all, we got the Welgun, which is an SMG. It was in Vanguard like multiplayer before it was in Warzone. It is now in Warzone. But I was using this yesterday and today in Vanguard multiplayer. So to unlock it via Vanguard multiplayer, you have to get 10 aim down sight eliminations in 15 different matches. I don't know if you have to finish the match or if you can back out as soon as you get 10.
I'm not sure. Finish. I'm sure you have to finish. I
think you have to finish, which isn't as bad as Cold War, because a Cold War, the fastest way to do that in Cold War would be to play Nuketown, and those matches lasted way longer than Shiphouse matches, because half your matches are going to be TDM. TDM 4v4 shipment is over in literally 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a lot faster, but it still takes a while. But nonetheless, not that bad. And then I equipped the Welgun. With 0 attachments, it's the best gun I've ever used in that game. I'm literally not joking. It is insanely overpowered. It absolutely needs to be nerfed. I don't know if this translates to Warzone, but that's the news on the timeline. Let's put it that way. Is that it's real good in Warzone too. I can't speak to that myself. I haven't used it yet. But in Vanguard multiplayer, it is the best weapon I've ever used easily in that game. And holy shit, by leaps and bounds, it's fucking insane. It doesn't have any recoil. It's got a fine fire rate. It's got great mobility, great sprint out, great ADS, and the damage is fucking absurd. And I think the multipliers are way too high. I think that's a big reason that it's super OP.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got a kill today, a 2-tap, because I shot the guy upper chest and head on someone full health. And that should not happen with an SMG. It just, unless it's like such a goofy build that it makes it terrible for everything else. But this gun isn't that. It's just absurd. It's super broken. Incredibly fun to use. Don't get me wrong. But really overpowered. Have you heard anything about this related to Vanguard or Warzone?
I've heard it's really good in both. Yeah, I haven't seen any clips or anything with it, but I've heard that it's a nutty as well. Yeah, so I'm excited to use it. And I think you do have to finish the matches to unlock it. I think JGod said on Twitter, which I had never thought of this, he said the fastest way to do it is playing free-for-all. That makes a ton of sense. Free-for-all matches are very quick, so I would do that if I'm trying to unlock it fast. That's probably what I'll end up doing to get it. Is play some free-for-all, 10 easy kills.
That's big brain.
Yeah, because free-for-all is only up to 30, so I can get 30 kills in a minute and a half probably, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, and I don't even know if you need 10 kills, because it says 10 limbs. So if you're like aiming down sight, I don't know, whatever. But like, yeah, you could get it done in that time. So
yeah.
But yeah, that thing fucks. And we'll definitely see more relating to Warzone as the days go by. So now there was a patch on January 7th for Warzone. Fairly small patch. And just quickly, not going to cover everything. There were some bug fixes and stuff, but the big ones we wanted to talk about: the double barrel shotgun for Vanguard, attachment adjustments, sawed off, which was a stock, Move speed decreased to 1.03 down from 1.04. Who called it? Your boy. Now that's not a nerf. I don't even know if you would even be able to tell.
Yeah, it's not much at
movement
all.
speed
That's nothing.
was reduced by 0.01, but still they did it. And then for double barrel, if you're using akimbo, the multiplier to 0.55 from 1.0.
Holy shit.
Which is massive. Good. Damage range multiplier increased to 1, up from 0.6. Damage range multiplier. I don't know what that means.
Huh. Damage range multiplier.
So cool. I have no idea what that means. Move speed decreased to 0.985 down from 1. That's definitely more noticeable. And if you have akimbo and sawed off, you would really start to notice that, I think. And then hip spread increased to 1.32 up from 1.28, which is another good nerf. So there you go. This needed to be nerfed. It got nerfed. Cool.
Yeah.
And now into the mid-season 1 January 11th update patch notes for Vanguard specifically. Now, once again, hold on one second. Had to get that fan on. Okay, once again,
those we just covered was for Warzone though, right? And then now we're going back into Vanguard. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, because I wanted to keep it chronological.
Got it.
So that was just for Warzone, the sawed off nerfs, or excuse me, the double barrel nerfs. This is for Vanguard only, and then we're going to get back into Warzone with the mid-season update. So, as always, we're not going to cover everything, but I've pulled out some things that are worth talking about. So, for Vanguard specifically, spawn logic has been tuned to improve small maps with higher player counts. This is true. I've only been playing Ship House. I played for about an hour or so today. Spawn logic does seem better. On shipment, the spawns are fine. They're pretty much as good as they can be for shipment, I would say. You're still going to get some dog shit spawns, but it's impossible for that to never happen. On a map that small with 6v6, you're never not going to get a shit spawn every once in a while. So I think the spawns now are pretty good. Adjusted spawn logic for domination on Dome. I hate Dome on this map only because of the spawns, so hopefully that's true and hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
And then the spawns in the control mode have been adjusted to prevent like out of map spawning and other dumb shit. And then some bug fixes. Attack/guard dog kills now count toward Panzerfaust camo challenges. So asterisk. STG weapon challenges are now tracking for bloodthirsty kills and for multi kills. Asterisk and asterisk. I don't know if any of this is true. Because this happened and a lot of people were calling bullshit on each and every one of these. So I think this patch, from what I've gathered, is working for some people. So some people now, these patch notes are true for, but for others, it's still not true. But they then tweeted saying, hey, we heard you. It's going to work for everyone soon. I promise. Smile. I don't know. But they're at least trying, I guess. And maybe it'll work for you now, finally. But I don't know. I have no idea.
I did see people saying at first it still wasn't working, and then later it seems like it was, like a few hours later, because I saw a bunch of people tweeting out pictures of them unlocking Atomic and whatnot and saying things were finally tracking. So for the most part, it sounds like it's fixed, but who knows? There will always be like those few people where it just still isn't working for. Like mine wasn't tracking a limbs period on the STG, and that wasn't a big problem. That not too many people had that, but mine wasn't tracking kills period. So hopefully mine are all completely fixed now.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know, but they're back to work. I think this will be fixed relatively soon. All this camo shit.
Yeah.
It's been long enough to where people are like, this is getting fucking ridiculous. So, now some weapon balance changes. M1 Garand, less recoil. Type 99, less flinch. Faster ADS. And retain one shot kill potential for chest shots when smaller caliber ammo is used. That's kind of worrying to me. So there you go. 3-line rifle, faster ADS, which is I think fine. Car 98, retain 1-shot kill potential for chest shots when smaller caliber ammo is used. Okay. Hollow points, remove damage range penalties. Wow. That's pretty fucking good for multiplayer. If you use hollow point, there's no damage range drop off anymore. That might make that a pretty competitive attachment now on some like SMGs. So something to consider. Stuns, reduce stun grenade damage in hardcore modes. It needs to be reduced in all modes. It does 25 damage. It's fucking insane. So, I mean, but cool. In hardcore, that would be incredibly annoying. It's literally an extra frag, but better because it detonates sooner. So anyway, that's good, I guess. Reduced how long players are affected by stun grenades. Fan of that. And then less damage for incendiary
Stuns
grenades.
weren't even that good to start with. That's interesting they did that.
The stun effect? Yeah, true. I know. That is kind of surprising. I always run survival training anyway, but
too bad iDub didn't ever think to do that to Modern Warfare once ever.
Yeah, I wish this was a fucking Warzone patch note, but anyway. Kill streaks, mortar barrage. The duration's reduced a lot, by the way. It lasts like 30% of the time it used to. It's fantastic. Number of strikes per streak has been reduced, obviously, and then addressed an issue where the deployment was inconsistent. That's fake news. When you throw it, you're still like holding it and you're all glitchy and you have to press weapon swap. It's really annoying, but good. You should be annoyed if you're using that trash streak. So whatever. High alert. Slight delay added before perk activates after being seen by an enemy. Okay, that's a pretty big nerf to high alert. Dauntless. You now get immunity to fire and burning effects. Immunity, including incendiary rounds, flame knot. What? And lingering fire on the ground.
Jesus
Holy shit.
Christ.
That makes that perk really good.
That does.
So a flame knot does no damage to someone with Dauntless. Wow.
I feel like they're just describing it wrong. There's no way it doesn't do anything.
That can't be right?
No. There's no way.
How mad would you be if you had a flame knot and some
Wait,
fucking
fire
dickhead
and burning
with Dauntless?
effects. Maybe it's not actually damage. It's just like on your screen or something. Is that what that means? I don't know.
This implies that the flame knot just doesn't damage you, but that seems absurd.
That seems wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know, but immunity to lingering fire on the ground and incendiary rounds, mainly the fire on the ground. Dauntless is probably a really good perk now for like DOS House especially. Because you can just never go B. Sure. On DOS House Dom, you can't go B ever. There's always fire on the ground. So now if you run Dauntless, you just don't have to give a fuck. That's pretty goddamn good. That's a big buff to Dauntless. Which is the effect originally that gave you an immunity to movement impairing effects.
Yeah.
Now apparently it's also to fire. So, okay, pretty good. I'll be running that now. 100%. And then Fortified also reduces fire damage taken by 30%. And then also reduces excessive damage of all explosives. I don't know what that means. What do you mean excessive damage? This might mean like splash damage you take less of, but if you still get direct impacted, you take the normal amount. That's what I'm guessing that is supposed to mean.
Know what else was really needed that I haven't seen is gammon bombs and hardcore. You throw one anywhere on the map and you get like 4 kills pretty much. They're fucking insane. But you don't see people bitch about it because no one's playing hardcore really. But when you're leveling up weapons and playing it, dude, gammon, all you die to are gammon bombs. They're so busted.
I would imagine.
I'm very surprised those haven't been nerfed yet. But again, lower amount of people playing it, less complaints. They don't think about it.
Exactly. And then this was needed on day 2. The objective progression bar will no longer clip into reticles. Meaning, if I'm capping B and I'm holding an angle while I'm capping it, it won't have a big cap bar directly on the center of my screen where my reticle is.
Took them 2 months to do that. Took them 2 months to something that to fix something that literally within 2 minutes of me playing Vanguard, I noticed was annoying. It's like, how did that even make it into the game? Did none of you actually ever play this? Like, how did you ever cap a flag? Maybe they never capped flags. I don't know.
Yeah.
Confirmed Sledgehammer Games doesn't play the objective. Yeah. There's
correct.
no way they didn't see that. So that pisses me off that it took that long to fix, but glad it's fixed.
And also, that has to be one of the fastest fixes you can deploy as a dev. Like, you literally just take the little text box and just scoot it down. Like, holy shit, what is that, 20 minutes of work? This should have been done so much sooner.
Thought that would be in like one of like the first patches.
Literally the first hotfix.
I was like, oh, this will get fixed, and then it just never did. And
I agree.
people didn't complain about it either. It was another one of those things. Like, no one plays the objective, I guess. How do you even cap a flag? So weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, that's been, according to the patch notes, that's been changed. So that's really fucking good, because that was incredibly annoying. Next, zombies content update. So there was a lot of zombies patch notes. I'm going to read some of them, but not all of them. But suffice to say, once again, there was a lot, and I am going to read you some of it. And I'm going to read this first blurb that was written by Sledgehammer. So, quote, someone. In Zombies, classic survival gameplay arrives in Shi no Numa this week with the new Void objective for players who want to kill endless waves of zombies, watch the rounds go up, and grind weapon camos to their heart's content. So in other words, they're releasing a classic, once again, Zombies mode. Huge. Explore Von List's office, a previously unavailable area that harbors narrative secrets in a mysterious new portal. Upgrade your artifacts at the Tome of Rituals, equip 3 new Pack-a-Punch camos, build the War Machine and Death Machine at the crafting table, discover new narrative intel, you guys said that, and more. The Combat Shield also joins loadouts, cool, and the Mystery Box, and the new weapon unlock challenges for the Katana and Welgun SMG are coming to Zombies. And then get the full overview here. So, cool. This is what people have been asking for. I suspect it's not going to be that good, to be honest, because they're so behind on Zombies. I did not see that there's like a ray gun now in these patch notes, which is unfortunate. But still, a classic Zombies experience is coming. Maybe with Season 2, we get a fucking ray gun like the first ever Zombies had. So we'll see. But once again, we're not going to read all of the patch notes for Zombies, but there are a couple of things that I wanted to go over. So survival gameplay, which is the mode that we just talked about. Void. Let's see. This is access from Von List's office in Stalingrad. Rounds are advanced by defeating increasingly difficult endless waves of zombies rather than by completing objectives. After completing 3 rounds in the Void, as opposed to the 5 in Cold War, players must choose to flee or survive. Choosing survive continues to spawn waves of zombies until players choose to escape, or if the game ends when all players go down. Players earn 5,000 bonus essence for every 3 rounds completed in the Void. After surviving 12 rounds, players earn a reward that prevents perks from dropping below tier 2 upon going down for the rest of the match. I like that. This is something as a casual that I think is cute. This is something that would lead to our demise as Zombies amateurs and also professionals when we would play in Cold War.
Yeah.
When we were playing like 4s and we were on round like 60 or something, and someone died and lost all their perks, you can't regain. Even if all of your teammates have everything to help you, it's still like virtually impossible. So now they have this thing after 12 rounds. You get a reward that prevents your perks from dropping below tier 2. So at least you'd have tier 2 Juggernog or whatever. So I think that's a pretty good change, but purists might mold about that. I'm not sure. The Pack-a-Punch machine is available in Shi no Numa when in the Void, and players can return to Stalingrad to upgrade their perks, covenants, and artifacts after surviving 3 rounds in the Void, and can return to the Void at any time. What are your thoughts on all that, Tanner? You excited for Zombies now?
It's confusing. I don't get all this Void. I don't know what they're talking about. I just need to play it once. Is it still like where you spawn in and like you go? So is this Is this void an area where you have to go and then start it? Because know how zombies, it was like that on launch. You had to like go to different areas to do different types of things. Is that what this is?
Sure. Yeah.
This just all sounds so confusing. I don't even know what I think about it. I'm not sure. I do want to try it. Dusty plays a lot of zombies, and he's in chat saying that it's fun now, or it's better for sure. So, I do want to try it. I think we should try it sometime this month, maybe, and do like a Patreon episode on it.
I think Void is a playlist. So like you pick your map and then you pick your playlist. Void is one of the objectives. So I think it's like a playlist you pick before you start. That's my guess.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds fun. They added some big things in, like, you know, the Pack-a-Punch camos everyone wanted. Yeah, all this sounds fun. It is making me want to get into it more and try it. I just know once I play, I'm going to be like, fuck, man, Cold War Zombies was just still so much better than this. So
that's, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds fine.
It's not a playlist, according to Dusty. He would know. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck the Void is also. This is something Tanner and I have to play once, and then we'll understand all of it. It's more confusing on paper than
it's very confusing to listen and hear about. Yeah, I don't know. I just need to play it.
We will end up playing it. We'll probably do a Patreon episode on it too. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow. In fact, we'll see. Probably not actually. Mid-season update. Yeah, so we won't at all. So got it. Yeah. But I'm excited too. I think I'm with you. I think it's going to be better than Zombies has ever been in Vanguard, and also it's going to be like significantly worse than Cold War Zombies. Significantly. That's kind of my expectation for Vanguard Zombies.
But
it'll be nice to level guns too for us, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. Like part of Zombies is just getting the wonder weapons. Your whole team gets the wonder weapons, and then you just have a strat and you survive. And it's like, if that's not in the game, what the fuck are we doing? Are we never getting them?
Is insane. I know.
How do you launch a Zombies title at all, a Call of Duty Zombies title, and not have a ray gun in it? I just don't get it. It just really shows you that they started development on this 4 months before Vanguard came out or something. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It is. Yeah. So
it makes you wonder too if there's going to be zombies in the MDub title, if Treyarch's going to do the same thing next year. Because judging from how it's going now, this zombies won't be fun for 6 months or something. So then it's like, are they going to do the same thing again in Modern Warfare, or is this just a one-off?
It's a good question. Because MDub 2019 didn't have zombies.
No.
So maybe they won't even have zombies at all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's possible. But
we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised because I think Warzone 2 comes out with MDub 2022. So yeah. Anyway, whatever. It's a topic for another time. But yeah, that's that. You can also inspect weapons now in Vanguard. There's a weapon inspect keybind or function.
Can you actually do it yet? I had heard you can. It's in the keybinds, but you still couldn't actually inspect yet.
Oh, I don't know. Huh. I don't know if it works.
Maybe it does work. I don't know.
Hopefully it works if they added the setting, but you never know with Call of Duty. So maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but you guys can go try. There you go. All right, now Warzone patch notes. January 12th. This is what most of you are here for. And let's get into it. A lot to talk about. So first, Vanguard Plunder. They wrote things about it. Basically, they have Vanguard Plunder as well as regular Plunder, Vanguard Resurgence as well as regular Resurgence. And it's the same shit as Vanguard Royale versus regular BR. Vanguard Plunder is going to have only old cars that have no torque. Planes are going to be in it, and you can only use Vanguard weapons and equipment. There you go. So that's also going to be Plunder.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't care. And same with Resurgence. So I don't know if anyone plays Plunder, but there you go. Cool. So bug fixes. There were a lot. I'm going to go over the important ones. This is not all of them, and we're not reading all the notes, but we're reading some of them. Fixed several issues causing instability on Xbox and PlayStation, and there are more to come. So, as Tanner and I have been talking about, consoles have been fucking going through it, down bad, as the kids on TikTok would say. And they are looking to ameliorate that situation. They've fixed some issues, supposedly, and they are aware that there are more issues that still need to be fixed, and they're working on it. They seem very invested in working on this, by the way. I think it's going to be pretty much sorted out before the month's over for sure. So they're not going to let consoles have bad performance for much longer. This is going to absolutely be priority number one, and they're going to continue to work on it. But hopefully it's better for a lot of you already. Let's see. Fix an issue with the packed powder attachment where it was increasing locational multipliers. That's good to know. That's a shotgun attachment, so any nerf to shotguns is good.
Yeah.
Fix an issue with the double barrel Vanguard where its akimbo gun perk was not properly decreasing damage, so now the nerf is actually in effect. Fixed an issue, let me go to my translator, with the submachine gun alpha Vanguard. So there is no submachine gun alpha. Ha ha! I made a Google document today, dear listeners. I loaded into Vanguard, and I made every category of weapon: assault rifle, SMG, tactical rifle, sniper rifle. I put the dumb fucking Greek letter and translated it to what the actual gun is. And the very first time I need to use it, fixed an issue with the submachine gun alpha in Vanguard. Guess what? There isn't a submachine gun alpha. Awesome, man. Now, what it probably means, hopefully, is submachine gun able.
Yeah.
So what would that be? Let me go to my fucking separate document like an asshole, because these incompetent pieces of shit can't write a single patch note worth of fuck. Submachine gun able, which is the M1928, where it's VDD 189 millimeter short barrel was incorrectly affecting locational multipliers. So I don't know if that's a buff or a nerf. I suspect it's probably a nerf. So, okay. Fixed an issue with, let's see, assault rifle Charlie, which is the bar. There's an actual Charlie, shocking.
Good job.
Where it's SVT 40 PU scope 3-6x optic, which is super commonly used actually, would envelop the screen while firing. So that's a good change. So that scope will work properly now on the bar. And then fixed collision issues with various elements across Caldera, allowing players to exploit peaks, shoot through them. This was mostly a problem at Airfield. Or Airstrip? I think those are two different places. I'm talking about the southeastern corner of the map, that POI. I think it's called Airfield. That is where all of the glitching through the map and killing me shit was happening in my experience. They have supposedly fixed these issues, or some of them. Hopefully that's true.
So they say,
because that shit was annoying. So we'll see. And this update also enabled a bonus plus 10% weapon XP in Warzone if you own Vanguard. Holy shit. Forever?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So if you own Vanguard, you get 10% extra weapon XP when playing Warzone.
Always.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then a lot of other weapon changes. So the Welgun is new. Here's their description. Heavy full auto SMG with lethality and range for short to medium range engagements. As we talked about earlier, this thing kind of fucks.
Full auto, huh? Heavy little buddy.
It is heavy, dude. It chunks in Vanguard too, so I believe it. So there you go. The Welgun's in the game now. And now weapon adjustments. Here's what they've written. There are several changes pertaining to visual recoil below. Though the systems that comprise visual recoil are complex, we will be using the term loosely to describe the effects of camera or weapon movement that may not be directly tied to its recoil behavior. Okay, so I'm glad they've said that. I'm glad they know what visual recoil is, and I'm glad they care enough to continue to share their thought process through these weapon changes with us. That's something Raven has been doing for a while now, pretty much since they took over, and it is very appreciated. So they've continued with that trend, talking about visual recoil here. So, with that said, let's get into it. Assault Rifle Alpha, so the STG, visual recoil decreased. Automaton, recoil decreased, and recoil deviation decreased.
Oh, okay.
So this is them toning back their original automaton nerf, which is increasing its recoil. Now it's closer to where it used to be, probably not exactly where it used to be. Somewhere in the middle, I would imagine.
Yeah, they
The
nerfed it
automaton's
pretty
probably
hard
pretty-
early on, so it's probably
Yes, they
back
did.
to being used. I mean, it hasn't even really been usable compared to these other guns, so I'm glad they reverted that, essentially.
Yeah, so now they're trying to find the sweet spot, and maybe it's like usable but not insane now, which would be appreciated.
Yeah.
The AS-44, initial recoil decreased, and recoil deviation decreased. That's good, because that gun's terrible. I'm not sure this is enough. We'll see how much less recoil there is, but
AS-44 is really good. It's good for like close to medium. It's not good as like a long range AR, but it fries, dude. It has a really
yeah,
fast
the
fire
damage
rate.
is a lot.
It claps for sure. So this will definitely make it more usable.
And then the NZ41, recoil deviation slightly decreased, and recoil ramp up now occurs 1 bullet later. That's an interesting change because the NZ41, more than any gun I can think of, is one of those guns where it's fine for the first whatever bullets, 5, 6, 7. And then when that sustained fire recoil pattern sets in, it's fucking all over the
Terrible.
place. Yeah. More so with the NZ41 than any gun I can think of. So now that occurs 1 bullet later, which is an interesting change. I think I like it. However, I will say the NZ is probably going to need more love than this to be good enough to use.
Well, with the decrease in the deviation too, that should make it better once you hit that recoil ramp up anyway. So that once
That's
you hit
true.
to that
That's a good point.
then it's already going
That's
to
a
be
good
better
point.
as it is. And then it's also coming later now. So that's good.
Yes. Yes, that is interesting. So if I had to bet, this gun is still probably not going to be the long range meta, but at least we're getting closer. And that's how Raven likes to, and keep in mind, that's how Raven likes to do weapon balancing, is iterative, slow, and steady. Really, the only time they've deviated from that was when they fucking nuked the automaton. But besides that, they don't do it that way.
Yeah.
Like Infinity Ward, where they just ruin a gun. Oh, it's overpowered. Now it's the worst gun possible. Cool.
Yeah.
Raven has not been doing that. And by taking small steps, they might not get to where they should with the first patch, which I think is the case here with the NZ41. But I think we will soon see a lot of weapons be right where we all want them. And hopefully we get, here's my dream. We get somewhere with Vanguard ARs that we had achieved with Cold War SMGs in Verdansk toward the end, where they were all good, they were all usable almost, and they all excelled at slightly different things, but there really wasn't one that was just head and shoulders better than everything else.
Yeah.
OTS 9 aside, that was like where I'm hoping and where it looks to be what we're going to get with Vanguard ARs. So I'm very excited, and I like all of those patches, even if, again, in some instances, it's probably not quite enough yet. The Einhorn revolving shotgun, hip spread increased slightly. Cool. Attachments, ammo. The Cooper carbine compressed rounds. These are very popular because they increase the fire rate when you use these. Horizontal recoil control decreased to 1.04 from 1.05. So they have a little bit more recoil now, horizontally. Don't care. Visual recoil decreased slightly. Okay. That actually might be kind of relevant because some people are using the Cooper carbine as a long range AR. I think it's dumb and cringe, and it had too much visual recoil for me to want to use it. But that's why they did this patch, which I think is a good change. So maybe now it'll appear to be better. I don't know, but I'm not mad at that. Let's see. The STG for one of the barrels, VDD 760mm 05B, visual recoil decreased. And then the second bullet is Cooper carbine Vanguard. So this is a sub bullet of the barrel of the STG. The patch is Cooper carbine. So, okay. I don't know what that means, but
Cooper
got
carbine.
it. Oh, it was a formatting error. Okay.
Yeah.
So they just decreased the visual recoil for one of the STG barrels. And then also for the Cooper carbine, the 22-inch Cooper custom barrel, sprint to fire speed 1.2 from 1.3. That's big. That's really big. I don't know if this was the common barrel to use for the close range Cooper setup, but if it is, that's a big nerf to the Cooper carbine. Do you know?
I don't think. I mean, the sprint to fire was already fine on it. I don't remember
they've nerfed
that.
it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll have that big of an effect. It wasn't like it was in Cooper. I think was the one in Vanguard multiplayer where the sprint to fire was really, really bad. Right? It doesn't seem to be that way in Warzone at all. So I don't. I've never even noticed it being an issue. So now that it's nerfed a little bit, it may come into play, but it's not gonna like ruin the gun, I would imagine.
And that's if the Cooper custom
Warzone
is the fire rate barrel. If it's not, I don't think this is relevant at all. Because I don't think your sprint to fire being reduced by 0.1 is going to matter much for a long range AR setup.
I think that's one of the fire rate barrels. I believe there's two of them.
Okay.
So this is probably like the first one you unlock.
So if that's the case, this is a pretty substantive nerf for the sniper support setup. But we'll see if it's too much or not. I'm not sure. 0.1 seems like a lot, but I don't know. I'd have to play with it. So we'll see. Let's see. Light machine gun Charlie. Let me consult my fucking chart. Bren. Okay.
There we go. Yeah.
Good. Queens 705 millimeter Royal barrel. No longer removes damage fall off. Great. That should be change number 1, and that's exactly what it was. Good. This is a smart way to nerf the Bren. The fact that you could just not have damage drop off on a fucking LMG is absurd. So
insane. And it had no recoil.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking outrageous. You get the same TTK at 1 meter as you do at 100. Come on. What are we doing? So good. There's damage drop off now. Now multiplies damage range by 1.5 up from 1. Again, I don't know what that means. Someone help me understand what these, because this is twice now. I don't know what damage range multipliers are. What is that? Okay, so I don't know. I'll read it again. Maybe this makes sense to some of you because I don't understand it. Now multiplies damage range by 1.5 up from 1.
Huh?
Yeah, I have no earthly idea what that could mean. I don't even have a guess. I don't know. Do you have any ideas? I have no ideas.
No.
Okay, so cool. Hopefully that becomes clear. Hey, Raven, if you're listening, explain what the fuck a damage range multiplier means. I don't know what this patch note means. I have no idea. So cool. Horizontal. I don't even know if it's a buff or a nerf. I literally have no idea. So cool.
Yeah, the numbers are confusing too. By 1.5 up from 1. Like, what? I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, I think I get it. Okay, I get it. Okay. So before, since there was no damage fall off, it didn't affect your damage ranges. But now, if you use this barrel instead of using no barrel, you get 50% more damage range for each damage range. So if
okay.
I think that's what it means.
Oh yeah, because it's still talking about just the barrel. I wasn't even thinking that. I was just thinking about the gun in general. Okay, so yeah, this is specific for that barrel. Okay, got it.
Yes. So if your first damage range with no barrel is 20 meters, it's now 30 meters with this barrel. Okay, got it. Cool. Now I understand. Okay. Horizontal recoil control increased to 1.36 from 1.37. So slightly more horizontal recoil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like much, though.
0.01. That'll be unnoticeable. So, okay. So the Bren is a big gun that really needed a nerf. Do you think this is enough?
No. I think it needs less recoil control. So the gun overall needs I think the base gun needs to have more recoil. I don't think this really solved anything. So
interesting. I think this is a good start. It absolutely needed to have damage drop off. It needed to have different ranges.
Yeah.
So that's a really good start for sure. But this is basically going to be the exact same gun inside of that first damage range.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many meters that is, but I would guess it's 25, maybe 30.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of gunfights do take place inside of that range.
Well, in Caldera, they're all 100 plus, but...
Well, yeah. But that's what I mean. This is a pretty big nerf, I think, because when you are shooting someone at 40 meters, you're not going to kill them nearly as quickly.
Yeah,
anymore.
that's true. Yeah.
So I think this is probably...
Maybe that would be enough since you're not doing as much damage at range, then the recoil isn't going to come into play as much since it's not killing as fast either way. So you're still going to have to track better.
Yeah. So I think this is a good start. I think it's probably enough, but we'll see. I don't know. We kind of got to play and find out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Submachine Gun Charlie. Let me consult my chart. Thanks, Raven. MP40. Krosnick 317 millimeter 04B barrel now decreases hip fire accuracy by 6.4%. Okay.
Got it.
So holy shit. So far, the only change to the MP40 is in one particular barrel, your hip fire is 6.4% worse. People were not hip firing MP40s anyway. So far, cool. Nothing has changed with the MP40. Okay, sure. Got it. Don't care at all about this, so whatever. Akimbo, double barrel Vanguard shotgun. Hip spread accuracy decreased by 40%, down from 32%. So even worse hip fire now. Good. Let's see. STG, 7.62 Gorenko 50 round mags, visual recoil decreased. Cooper carbine, .30 carbine 45 round mags. Move speed increased by 4%, ADS by 1%, horizontal recoil control and vertical decreased to 1.28 from 1.3. Pretty minor. Move speed is major.
No one was using those bullets, so maybe they're trying to get people to use those now.
Exactly. No one was using these rounds, but with a fucking 4% move speed increase, that makes this a fairly attractive option for a sniper support setup.
Yeah, it does.
For like maybe duos or trios.
Mm.
That's pretty big, dude. Because, okay, listen, 4% move speed is fucking a lot.
That's huge.
That's like running lightweight in Vanguard.
Yeah.
Like that's really big. So that's quite a buff. So there you go. And then LMG Charlie, let's see, that is the Bren. Okay. The 6.5 Sakura 40 round mags, by far the most popular attachment on the Bren. Vertical recoil 1.17 from 1.2 and horizontal 0.19 down from 0.21. So a little more recoil, vertical and horizontal with those mags specifically. Pretty good.
Wait, isn't that saying vertical recoil control increased? That's less recoil.
No. So every single patch note they've been doing this. What they mean is increased. Wait. Oh, no. Okay. When you use these mags before, it would increase your recoil control by 1.2. Now it only increases by 1.17. So it still increases.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like how they
less.
word them now. It's more confused. Yeah, I don't get it. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, I'm helping Raven by explaining this better than they've written their patch notes because they're dog shit. But they still increase your recoil control, but they increase it by less than they used to.
Okay.
Not by much less than they used to. 0.03 and 0.02 respectively. So they're going to have a little bit more recoil, but not too noticeable. But that's good. I think all things considered for the Bren, I think this is a reasonable start to nerfing it. And maybe it'll be enough. So yeah. There you go. Let me take a fat gulp of water. What are your thoughts so far, Tanner?
I think everything was needed. All these changes are pretty good. The changes to the Cooper carbine, the 45 round mags, that's a weird one. Kind of came out of nowhere, but I get they're trying to get people to use different attachments on it, so I think that's kind of a good start.
I really like that change. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah,
because 4% move speed is fucking insane.
Yeah,
that's a lot. So,
yep. That is like running lightweight almost. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Lightweight's 5%, and that's incredibly noticeable in Vanguard.
Very.
So 4%, like that's pretty fucking big. Yeah. So that's cool. Cheers to 2022 and resolutions you can actually keep. How about having clean and shiny balls all year round? Our sponsors at Manscaped are here to save your balls this year and make the ball drop into 2022 the cleanest and sexiest ever. Set your first New Year's resolution with good intentions and join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code Dropshot for 20% off and free shipping. It's new year, new me with the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming. This year, take your package to the next level with their Performance Package 4.0 and brand new Ultra Premium Body Wash. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find the signature Lawnmower 4.0. This electric trimmer is designed to trim hair on loose skin like a ball sack. The advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts and nicks on your delicate nuts. It also comes equipped with a 4000K LED spotlight that will shine a light to the promised land 2022 looks to be. A grooming routine isn't complete without applying Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver before showing off your 2022 self. These unique formulations take care of the smelliest part of your body and are a big boost to your confidence into the new year. To complete the set, Manscaped threw in their Shed travel bag and anti-chafing boxer briefs as free gifts to keep all your goodies stored comfortably. And the new product that needs no introduction, the Ultra Premium Body Wash from Manscaped, solves all three for the perfect addition to your daily grooming routine, but in the shower. This body wash smells great. It's cologne infused with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean, nice, and moisturized. Whether your resolution is to work out more or travel to new places, be sure to travel to manscaped.com for our exclusive offer of 20% off and free shipping with the code Dropshot. Cheers to new balls in 2022. Once again, 20% off and free shipping with code Dropshot at manscaped.com. It's new year, no pubes in 2022 with Manscaped. Manscaped.com, code Dropshot, 20% off and free shipping. Figure it out. Okay, so for the bar, Mercury Silencer, once again, vertical recoil control 1.07 from 1.048, horizontal 1.03 from 1.013. So way less recoil than before if you're using the Mercury Silencer. For the MX Silencer, horizontal recoil control 1.049 from 1.036. So once again, a little less horizontal recoil with the MX Silencer. I'm not sure how excited I am for a fucking bar to have less recoil than it used to be honest, but this might be probably fine. I don't really know.
Yeah, it didn't have it didn't move before.
Yeah, it was kind of like the NZ where it was fine until you got the sustained recoil and then it would bounce a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And this is mirrored for Hotel. The Automaton. For the Mercury and MX Silencer, well, okay, Mercury Silencer. Vertical and horizontal recoil are again each up by 0.015 and 0.01. Not much. Slightly less visual recoil now as well. MX Silencer ADS speed decreased by 5.1% from 4%, so slower ADS with the MX Silencer, and way more horizontal recoil control with the MX Silencer from 1.03 to 1.065. So interesting. Okay. And then Einhorn Revolving M97 full choke, bloom multiplier decreased to 0.9 up from 0.85. ADS spread multiplier decreased to 0.9 from 0.85. So you get
A reduction.
less spread.
Well, it says right there, a reduction of this multiplier will increase the size of its firing cone while ADSing.
Yes, exactly. So now, if you ADS with the Einhorn, you're going to get a little bit of a tighter spread. So it's a buff to ADSing with the Einhorn with this choke. Is this relevant? Probably not. But there you go. So rear grips. Let's see. STG, Pine Tar grip. ADS speed decreased by 4.9% from 4%. And then 0.01 more vertical recoil control. Rubber grip now decreases idle sway control by 5%. Vertical recoil control to 0.06, up from 1.047. Okay. And then assault rifle hotel is the automaton. Polymer grip, visual recoil decreased slightly. Okay, fine. Some stocks. Let's see. We're not going to go through each and every one of these, but some of these are pretty big. Cooper Carbine removed stock. Horizontal recoil control 1.11 down from 1.3. That's pretty big. Vertical recoil 0.09 from 1.1. Doesn't matter. Visual recoil decreased. Okay. Einhorn revolving removed stock. Less hip fire accuracy, as well as with the VDD Hunter, less hip fire accuracy. So they really want you to ADS with that Einhorn. That's what I'm getting from this. So that's interesting. Underbarrel. These are somewhat relevant. STG, Carver foregrip, visual recoil decreased. I'm very curious with all these decreasing in visual recoil, what that's actually going to look like. You think you'll notice this? You're muted.
Yeah,
muted.
I think so. I don't know. I'm not sure, like, what the... I feel like I never noticed a lot of visual recoil in all these Vanguard guns.
I agree. That's why I'm so confused
by
all this.
But I kept seeing a bunch of people talk about it, saying, like, certain guns, like the Cooper and stuff, had a crazy amount of visual recoil. And I'm just confused by that. I didn't feel that way at all. So I don't know how this is going to look, because I didn't think any of them had a bunch of visual recoil. A little weird to me. I don't know.
I think this is because, unironically, we're on 120 FOV, so we're going to notice visual recoil way less.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
guess. Yeah, that's true.
That would be my guess. But like a lot of these attachments that had their visual recoil decreased, we use like 4 of them probably.
I know.
So when you stack these together, I'm very curious what that's going to look like for us, but should help you guys a lot. And then the same for another underbarrel, M1941 hand stop, less visual recoil. Assault rifle, Charlie, the bar, Carver foregrip, tiny bit more vertical recoil control, less visual recoil. Let's see. And then assault rifle hotel, Vanguard, which is the automaton, Carver foregrip. ADS speed decreased by 5%, up from 4. Some hip spread changes, less hip fire accuracy. More horizontal recoil control by a little bit and vertical, and then less visual recoil. And then for the M1941 hand stop, I don't know what this attachment is. I don't know if anyone uses it on ARs. So I don't know.
The hand stop? That's like one of the most popular foregrips.
Really?
Yeah.
Not everyone just always use a Carver.
Oh. People run the hand stop for a lot of things, actually.
What does it do?
I don't know. Same thing as all the other ones, just a different amount. Recoil. It does... I think it doesn't... Because Carver helps your hip fire, right? I believe hand stop doesn't help, but it does something else. I think it was accuracy and recoil is what it was early on, but now with Bloom, I don't really know. But I know that for a lot of setups, you see people running it.
Okay.
I think it also decreases ADS speed by less than the Carver does, maybe. Less of a hit to that. I'm not positive, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't used it much, but I'll look into it more today. But anyways, for the automaton M1941 hand stop, you have better horizontal and vertical recoil control now. Idle sway control now decreased by 10%, so a little more sway, and then visual recoil decreased slightly. So those are all the weapon changes. Quite a bit there. People have really wanted an MP40 nerf, and the MP40 did not get nerfed. It has a little less hip fire accuracy with one particular attachment. So I don't know. Do you feel like the MP40 is that dominant right now?
everyone's using it. I've never thought it's that dominant, though, to be honest.
I agree.
It's not even close to where like the OTS ever was, not even as close as when the MAC-10 was dominant. I don't know. It's like people hate when everyone starts running one gun, even though that's how Warzone always has been. And it's not nearly as overpowered as some of these other SMGs have been and still are right now. So I'm not understanding it. I think it's in a good position. We need to have like one AR that just feels like the best. The Owen's still really good, I think. I've seen a lot of people running that now. The PPSH has an insane hipfire build. So I think the SMGs are in a pretty good spot. I don't want the MP40 just nerfed to the ground because people see other people running it and they're just assuming it's overpowered. It's not overpowered. It's just a good, well-rounded gun, so people are running it. I don't think it needs huge nerfs, though. No.
I agree. And I'm glad that Raven has not like caved to the pressure, because a lot of people are running the MP40 because, like you said, it's good. Like, it's a good, solid, well-rounded SMG, which is why a lot of people like it right now. But it's not overpowered.
No.
Like, yeah, it's nowhere near like a fucking OTS was like when it first came out.
You couldn't walk in a building in Verdansk without getting killed to someone with an OTS. I mean, they were so crazy good.
Exactly. So I'm glad they haven't caved to the pressure and destroyed it. They didn't even really touch it, which I'm like, again, kind of fine with.
Yeah.
And then the Bren nerfs seem pretty good too. They seem like enough for now.
Yeah.
It might still be a little better than everything else. I'm not convinced that that's true, but maybe. But if it is, it's not going to be nearly as disgusting as it used to be. So that's good too.
And
so
I do like how Raven does everything where they do little at a time. I like this. Like, you know, some of these guns they've touched now like 5 times. Like the Cooper carbine, this is probably their 4th or 5th different patch touching this gun. So I like how they do this. Whereas, yeah, like back in the day when Warzone came out, Infinity Ward would do nothing. And then 6 months later, they would just destroy the gun after it was the only gun anyone ever used. And then it was just destroyed and unusable. So I like how they're doing things. I know a bunch of people hate on Raven, but you guys do not realize what a worse state this game would be in if Infinity Ward is in charge. Raven does such a better job. So I like these changes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, agreed. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and I'm excited to play Warzone. And now it's, by the way, no one's going to complain about the MP40 if the Welgun is as good as people are making it sound right now.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that hot fix. There's a new operator. Don't care. There's a store bundle that's getting way too much attention on Twitter. It's an Attack on Titan.
Holy fuck, it's so annoying.
Bundle. This is an anime, right?
I think so, yeah.
So there's another, I mean, we've gotten so many anime bundles. I don't know why people care about this. I think it's because there's an operator now, Survey Corps. So you can play as Titan.
Levi, it looks like. Titan. Levi edition bundle. I assume that's who it is.
Yeah, so cool. I don't care, but that's in the game now, so cool.
Yeah.
And that's it. So overall, good solid patch. I am excited to play the game. I think the changes were smart and well thought out, and like Tanner kind of said, we're still not going to have perfect weapon balance. The Welgun's probably going to be overpowered. The PPSH hipfire build was completely untouched, and that's insanely overpowered too.
I think I'm going to go back to that.
Yeah,
fun
definitely.
Gun to use.
Super fun. But people are going to figure that out, and I think by about February, we're going to have a pretty solid state of weapon balance, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So overall, good patch. Good to hear.
Yep.
All right. Now, on to news and also upcoming changes. Tanner, what do we got here, buddy?
We had an announcement from the official Call of Duty Twitter channel today. This is something they don't do often. They made an announcement kind of about what's going on. And so I'll just read it to you. So this is what they tweeted out. We wanted to take a minute to talk to you about fixing the game. Fix your game. We hear you and we feel your frustrations. Our teams are hard at work addressing the issues that are being experienced across Vanguard, Warzone, and Modern Warfare. That's like the first time they've admitted there's an issue with MDub. Updates are being deployed as quickly as possible. We want everyone to have a seamless experience, no matter which game, mode, or platform you play on. Your feedback is a critical part of our development process to make sure our game is the best they can. We stay posted for real-time updates, blah, blah. So they kind of talked about what they changed, the bug fix and stuff they've changed in the Pacific. Then they said known issues are being worked on. Console performance. We are continuing to investigate various performance-related issues on both Xbox and PlayStation platforms. Invisible skin. We are aware of reports that certain skins are appearing invisible in Warzone. There's more of them now. There are more invisible operators in the game. Buy stations. Working on a fix to solve where some players are experiencing freezes when attempting to access a buy station.
Yep.
That's been an issue. So that's everything for Pacific. Same thing with Vanguard. They talked about what they changed, and they said known issues they're working on. Shotgun nerfs. 2 months into the game, shotguns are still dominant. And smoke reduction on incendiary rounds. That's being worked on. Working on issues with attack dogs, including challenge tracking and perk protection. Interesting. For the attack dogs. So that basically they're probably saying a perk will prevent attack dogs from one-hitting you or something.
Oh, so maybe cold-blooded attack dogs won't.
Or that, yeah. Or they just won't aggro to you. That's true too. So fixes for cold-blooded and high alert bugs and a buff for high alert. Improving diversity in map rotation and accuracy of quick play filters. There we go, because the quick play filters don't work, yes. Investigating a party disconnect issue where players are kicked from party post-match. That happens in every COD game for the past 3 years. It still will. And then zombies.
Super bad in Vanguard too.
Dedicated server pause for solo and single-player private matches. Fixes for the seasonal challenges not progressing. Wait, what?
Only single player. That's annoying. There needs to be a pause button if I'm playing with my friends.
No, that's what I don't know why they worded it this way. They said in another blog post, that the reason they're having issues adding the pause button is because the dedicated servers this year, whereas always zombies in the past it's basically a player hosted server. But now that they swapped it to dedicated, they essentially said, sorry, we did not realize it was going to be this hard to implement a pause feature on a dedicated server. We're working on it. It's taking longer than we thought, but it will be fixed. And we will have it at some point. So that's good to know.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is good to know. Okay, so cool. A very rare instance where Call of Duty is talking to us.
Yeah,
that's
that was good to see.
Fantastic. And it's also good to see and by the way, this is what the community's been asking for so long, is like, dude, we don't need you guys to fix everything now. Just at least acknowledge that you're aware of all of these problems and let us know that something is happening for them.
Yeah.
Because that has been the biggest thing, was just a dire lack of communication when Infinity Ward was running Warzone, for example. We would just have no timetable, no idea. We know the devs don't play, so we wouldn't even know if they were aware of all the bugs in their game. Mm-hmm. But now that you've merely just made one fucking tweet that took you 10 minutes, everyone's like, okay, cool. This bug's annoying, but they know it's in the game. Yeah, they're still mad, but most people are way less mad because they at least know that the devs are working on it, or have at least said they're working on it.
That's why I just wish they would say something publicly about FOV slider. If you're incapable of doing it, please just come out and say that. I agree. Your Twitter is literally full of kids responding to every single thing you tweet, add FOV slider a console. If you can't do it, come out and say that. Just say, listen, guys, we've been trying to make this work. It's not going to work on your Xbox from 2013 that has a 16 gigabyte hard drive and 4 megabytes of RAM. It's just not going to happen, guys. I'm sorry. We can't do this. We will be, launching this for next gen consoles. That'll be coming to Warzone at this time, or it won't be. Or just come out and say, yes, we've been working on it. It's taken a long time. There is still going to be an FOV slider on console, but nothing. Just absolutely fucking nothing. And it just makes them look bad. So at this point, it's probably not coming. Just come out and say that, so that your top complaint on every single tweet is not that issue. It's just say you're not doing it. Say, wait till Warzone comes out with Modern Warfare 2.2.2.2.2.2, and then that's when you'll finally get it. Or something like that. Say fucking anything to these kids, please. They do not shut up. They're still playing the game. You announcing that you're not adding an FOV slider is not going to suddenly make them stop playing after 2 years. They're either still playing it or they already quit. It's not going to affect your player base. Just come out and make an announcement on it, please.
That's what I don't understand, is what do they have to lose? If they just said, if FOV slider is never coming to consoles for this client of Warzone, which I suspect it's not, why not just fucking say that? Like, what is there to lose?
Yeah, there's not a kid out there that's actually going to stop playing the game after they've been grinding 12 hours a day for the last 2 years. No, they're going to say that on Twitter, fuck you, I'm done with your game, and they'll be back on Rebirth with their controller, sweating their ass off with an OTS9 the next day. It's not going to actually affect the player base.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just so weird. But anyway, unfortunately, we didn't get that, so whatever. Next here, the CDL says ranked play is, quote, a priority for Call of Duty players. Huh? No, it's not. The CDL's fucking wrong. Smile. Anyways, and more info on its addition to Vanguard is coming. So, whatever. Ranked play is going to be in Vanguard. I don't care. Tanner doesn't care. None of you listening care. And in fact, almost no one cares. But apparently CDL thinks ranked play is a priority for Call of Duty players.
Kids all want it, and then no one plays it. That's how it goes every single year.
We're familiar with that phenomenon ourselves.
The rumors are this time is that it's following closely to the World War II system, which is known as like the best ranked play system in a Call of Duty ever. So that may bring people to it, but it's like, look at the sales of Vanguard. I don't know if that's really going to bring too many people in necessarily.
Yeah. What is the ranked system in World War II? You
don't know, but I just know that was the most well-liked one by a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, for those of you who like fucking ranked, I guess, for you 10 people, rejoice. It'll be coming soon. TM. Next is a fun and exciting tweet from Raven Software. So, by and large, Tanner and I are fans of Raven. They seem to be, by comparison, the best development studio under Activision. They've been doing mostly a very good job, a commendable job, being the custodians of Warzone. They're not perfect, but they've done it way better than Infinity Ward has, for sure. However, again, and I can't stress this enough, they're not perfect. And here's an example of them being very imperfect. Okay. So they've been making tweets. Raven tweets a lot, which of course we're huge fans of. We love the communication. The polar opposite of Ashton Williams, who's the CEO of some company now or something. At Sparrows, and I think this was in the context of a conversation. It doesn't matter. And Sparrows is a sniper dude. I think. Whatever. He's a Call of Duty player. We feel that Modern Warfare and Cold War weapons are in a fairly good spot related to Warzone. Similar to the Cold War integration, Vanguard weapons will need time to receive the adjustments necessary to nicely slot into the Warzone ecosystem. Agreed, true, real, and Tanner and I have been telling you this since before Vanguard came out. So, no surprises so far. And then a follow-up tweet. As mentioned before, we will be decreasing base ADS speeds across all titles. This will increase time to kill slightly, as ADS times should be considered when calculating practical TTK values. Wrong, not true. They don't play their own game. Additionally, it'll give us room to emphasize the differences between weapon classes. So, a little more on that. I'm going to read everything they've written before we analyze what's going on here. We're looking, and then again, in the context of this conversation, we are looking to increase the average by about 20 milliseconds. So every weapon on average will be 20 milliseconds slower aiming down sights. Not every weapon will see an adjustment, and in most cases, we will be taking that ADS speed and leveraging it in attachments to create more interesting builds and meaningful choices. What that means is, potentially, yeah, your STG ADS is 20 milliseconds slower by default, but also the polymer grip, which is a super popular attachment, will increase your ADS speed by an extra 20 milliseconds to offset it. That's what they mean by that. Which is fair and interesting and okay, sure. We would have to have faith that they could do that well, which maybe we do, maybe we don't, but it's an interesting proposition. And then let's continue with what they've said. This is all in tweets, by the way. Primarily, we are concerned that some weapons are functionally blurring the lines between SMG, AR, and LMG. This is kind of true with like the Bren. The Bren is getting real Bruin vibes with the detachable mag, the ADS speed, etc. This is unhealthy for the game in the long term, not just because it can result in power creep, but also because it limits our design space for new weapons. All valid, fair points. And then that's that. So what are your thoughts so far, Tanner? What are your thoughts on this? This is everything they've said on the ADS thing.
I understand what they're saying about especially the ADS thing being leveraged more in attachments. That is an interesting thought, because that pretty much means, you know, maybe instead of using another recoil control attachment, you're forced to use an ADS attachment. So then you're going to give your gun more recoil, which is going to kind of result in maybe a little higher skill gap. Probably not, but technically you could kind of say that if the guns have more recoil and people start using those. But overall, this is an absolutely terrible idea. Increasing the ADS times isn't going to do anything other than, the only thing it would do is slow down the game. Because if it's worse on certain guns, what are bad players going to do? They're going to hold more angles. They're going to sit somewhere in a building pre-ADS, and they're not going to move their character, because they're going to be able to tell a small difference in ADS speed, and they're like, oh, shoot, I need to like pre-aim all this stuff now. So that's what it'll turn into, and it wouldn't be healthy for the game at all. And I'm not sure how they don't see that. So I hope they don't do this. They got a ton of hate when they started talking about this. I mean, a ton of hate. I didn't see one person agreeing that the change was good. Not sure what they're thinking. Again, like you're saying, they don't play their game. And then there's something else here that this will decrease time to kill slightly, as ADS time should be considered when calculating practical time to kill. I get what they're saying there. That is, I think, technically true, but it's not going to have...
Sometimes.
Yeah, but it's not really going to have any actual change realistically. It's just going to benefit players that sit in a corner and don't move in ADS the whole time.
I think most of the time that isn't true in Warzone, especially on Caldera. This is my main problem with Raven's premise, because they started this whole thing by saying we want to make the time to kill slower. Okay, I'm on board with that. I agree. That would be great. And the way we want to do that is to make everything ADS slightly slower, because that should be factored into time to kill. Wrong. That's where they're just wrong. If I have an SMG and you have an SMG and we like run into the same room, yes, ADS time would factor into the time to kill there. But most of the time in Warzone, that's not what's happening. I see you at 30 meters and maybe I can start shooting you a little later. So then the time to kill is effectively impacted. But a lot of times I see you, I ADS, and I'm going to continue waiting anyway because I want you to get as far away from cover as possible before I start shooting. Therefore, time to kill has not been changed by a slower ADS. Or I'm behind a rock engaged in a gunfight and I ADS peek something. Maybe I have him pinged on Combat Scout. Maybe I know where he is. And I'm going to be ADS'd in cover, and then I'm going to peek and shoot. My effective time to kill has not been affected. I'm sniping. My effective time to kill has not been affected. I'm hip firing. My effective time to kill has not been affected. So if their goal truly is to make the time to kill slower, here's a fucking thought. Lower the damage of guns. Here's another thought. Give us more health. There are way simpler, more effective ways to do this that make way more sense than making everything ADS slower. And like you said, and like many people on Twitter have been saying, all this does is encourage slower gameplay.
Well, and that's better for casual players, which make up the majority of the player base. That's why they don't just add more health, because it's going to take more shots to kill, makes the game harder, makes casuals not want to play it, and they lose a large portion of their player base. So they're trying to do the absolute bare minimum and change something that could theoretically raise the time to kill by a very, very small margin, just so they, in their mind, they can keep the sweats happy by saying they're raising the time to kill, even though it really isn't, but really they're just benefiting the casual players more than anything.
Yes, 100%. It's like this weird bait and switch where they're saying they're doing this to help They're saying they're making this change to help good players who want a slower time to kill. But in reality, they're doing this to help bad players or campy players who don't move.
Yep.
By making ADS slower and incentivizing pre-aiming, holding angles, and not moving more. It's this weird bait and switch thing that I just really don't like at all. Now, I will add that if they do leverage attachments in such a way that, again, take an underbarrel that makes you aim down sight faster, that attachment now aim down sights by an extra 20 milliseconds on top of its current value, okay, then fine. Maybe. But like leveraging attachments to overcome every gun or most guns having a just baseline slower ADS is very difficult to do, and I don't trust them to do it well enough.
Yeah.
And I just don't like this change at all. One thing Iceman Isaac tweeted in response to this, he tweeted a whole thread. It was really good. It was very optimistic. One of the things he was like, Raven, you guys are getting a lot of shit for this because I'm paraphrasing, because it's a terrible idea. But I don't want you guys to be discouraged by all of the negative feedback you're getting on this, because we really value and appreciate the fact that you're telling us about things you're thinking of doing before you do them, and please keep doing that. That's what Iceman Isaac was saying. And then he was saying, however, this changes dog shit. Yeah. Paraphrasing. I agree with his sentiment.
Though, yeah.
Yeah, he was very nice. Yeah. I agree with everything he's saying. I do hope Raven continues, despite the negative criticism the criticism that they've gotten from this, continue to be as transparent and open about changes they're thinking of doing, especially big ones like this, because this is a huge idea that they're thinking of implementing. I hope they continue that trend, and I hope that they aren't discouraged by people telling them that's a terrible idea. But on the other hand, I don't expect them to be discouraged by people telling them it's a shit idea. No. I think this is a company. These are people that go to work and then come home from work and stop thinking about it. And if you're afraid of hurting, if you're afraid, well, unfortunately they got Christmas break, so they do get time off, sadly. If you think that being critical of a video game patch is going to hurt Raven's feelings, you're out of your fucking mind, dude. And you need to chill out. Raven Software, an Activision development company, do not need you, fucking 22-year-old Andy, who makes lattes at Starbucks, to white knight for them on Twitter. It is so embarrassing seeing this shit. Stop. Hey, Raven Software is going to be fine. Their feelings are not hurt by this. They're a video game development company. They're going to get flack always, and they don't need white knights. This is a small point. It doesn't matter, but it's just embarrassing to see, guys, if you're mean to Raven, they're going to stop being transparent with us. No, they're not, dude. Relax. And we need to criticize them. Maybe we could do it nicer, but we won't. It's Twitter. No one's going to be nice. And they don't need white knights. It's embarrassing. And there are some very large Twitter accounts which are incredibly cringe all of the time for many, many, many reasons. And one of them is, of course, this. Guys, we need to encourage Raven. I'm not talking about Iceman Isaac, by the way. because these are far worse. We need to like be nice and encourage Raven. We're so glad that you guys deigned to tell us about the game that we fucking spent money on. Oh, please, Raven, let me suck you off. Tell us more. This needs to be toned down. This rhetoric needs to be toned down. Okay. Yeah. Raven does not need you. It's cringe. Okay. Stop it. Anyways, I like the trend of them telling us they're going to make changes beforehand. They will hopefully continue to do that, but this is objectively a bad change that I don't see any upside to. So in the best case scenario, they leverage attachments really well, like they said they were going to, and then it's fine. But that's kind of like a net neutral in the best case scenario.
Yeah.
There's no best case scenario where the time to kill is actually slower. And if it is, it's by 20 milliseconds. That's not what we're talking about anyway. Like, even if this did make time to kill 20 milliseconds slower on average, that's not what we're talking about, dude. Because a fast time to kill right now in Warzone is like 700 milliseconds. So an extra 20 really doesn't mean shit anyway for time to kill. So this is not accomplishing, even if it did accomplish what you're saying it would, which in most gunfights it won't, because ADS doesn't matter in most gunfights, effective time to kill in Warzone. Even if it did, increasing by 20 milliseconds is not what we mean. We're talking 100. Like, this isn't going to do much anyway, even if it worked the way you think it will, which it won't. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
So, anyways.
Doesn't seem to make much sense.
It really doesn't. So, moving on. Another Raven tweet. They have confirmed that they're looking into feedback regarding the loadout change in Warzone and looking at the, quote, pacing of it. And in another 2 tweets, Raven said, "This is a multifaceted topic that is being looked at from several angles by the team as we step through all feedback on the Caldera experience so far. We're aware of feedback regarding the loadout adjustment, both for and against the change, so the pacing of this is being reviewed." Okay. That said, players are accumulating more cash than intended over the course of the entire match in both plunder and battle royale modes. That is a lot to talk about. And another Raven tweet on this topic: "The cash economy in Warzone is one of the core pillars of the experience. With that in mind, we recognize that the current experience leads to an overabundance of cash. We're working towards a more balanced approach. Updates will come as we hone in on a solution." So less cash they're thinking about, and loadout change they're thinking about. They haven't really said much more than that, but there's a lot that could mean with the loadout change. The cash change is obvious. They're going to make less cash, but the loadout change, there's a lot that could mean. What are your thoughts so far? What do you want to see? What do you think we're going to see? Give us your feedback.
Well, they're again making it sound like it's some massive game altering issue if they just let us buy a loadout again off the rip. Like their game didn't have that for the first 2 years, you know? So that's what I'm confused about to start with. It reminds me of, what is it they said that one time about something when they were like, this is a potential... Oh, they worded it so funny. Fuck, we always used to make fun of it. Like, they were gonna make a change, but they needed to like be careful because it was gonna alter the game so much, and it was something so stupid. What was it? I can't think of it. But this just sounds like one of those things that they're making it into such a big deal, talking about being able to buy a loadout whenever you want, like the game was since March of 2020. You know?
Yeah.
It's just so weird to me. I do agree, obviously, regardless, there's way more cash on the ground. But if you can buy a loadout to start with, I think best case scenario is they let you buy a loadout. Maybe there's some sort of timer. It's like 2 or 3 minutes into the game or something. Maybe there's some sort of timer, and it loadout costs like 15 or 20,000. That would be totally fine with me if they don't touch the money. But if they're going to touch the money and then also give us the ability, maybe they'll kind of do it their own way, which they'll reduce the amount of money a lot, but then they'll kind of somehow revert the loadout change or change it so you can buy it earlier. But you're not actually going to be able to get it early because they're going to nerf the amount of money so much that you won't be able to find the amount to do it. And then it'll end up turning into how it is now. But they'll say, oh, well, we like made the change because you guys wanted it, but also they decrease the amount of money so you can't actually buy one that early. So I don't know. I would still just love it so you can buy one immediately and totally make it 15 or 20,000 with the amount of money that you can get now. That's not difficult to ask, I don't think. I agree. I think that's totally fair if they raise the amount, and I think that's what most people want. Numerous people ran polls on this. I know True Game Data did. I think Charlie Intel did. I mean, Charlie Intel's poll that they ran on Twitter had, tens of thousands of votes, and I think it was like 89% of voters said they wanted to be able to buy a loadout at any time. So it's like, Raven's saying there are people complaining against reverting this change because they like how it is. I've personally, honestly, I've never met one of those people. I've never seen anyone say that on Twitter. They voted for it, but I've never seen anyone actually say that. Maybe there's people in our Discord that are scared to say it because they think they'll get reamed. If you're that person that likes this loadout change, let us know, because I haven't seen one person in the Discord say they like this. It just doesn't make sense for anyone, which we've gone over plenty. Doesn't make sense for casuals, doesn't make sense for sweats. No one likes this change, and you shouldn't like it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad they announced, or they said something about this, because they've been quiet on this front, even though everyone's been complaining about this since Caldera drop was not being able to buy a loadout. You spent all this time unlocking these guns in Vanguard, maxing them out to just be locked behind a timer for when you can actually use those guns. I don't think they realized their BR is only fun because you can get a loadout. If there were no loadouts, Warzone would not be a good BR. There would be nothing special about it. It would be boring. True. It is fun because of the loadouts, and I just wish they could get that through their head. Their game is based on the loadouts.
Yes.
So
true. Agreed. Yeah. So I think the current loadout system being restricted in the way that it is does benefit casuals, because what I suspect would happen, I'm certain would happen, is that if you're like a really good team, you know where to drop, you know where to get money, you know where to drop so that you're close to money and a buy, you get a loadout sooner than a casual team. And if you do that, and then you maybe even have enough for a UAV, you pop that UAV, you go kill these kids who are still looting, they haven't gotten 10K yet. So I think this loadout change does benefit casuals, sort of. Those casuals are going to die anyway if they're that close to this loadout team. They're just going to die later in the game. That's the flip side of this argument. So, I don't know. I want the loadout change reverted as well. I'm not a casual. I play with fucking Jake, who has an 8 KD. Well, not anymore, because he doesn't like me or Warzone anymore. But I play with good players. We can get a loadout right away. So I want it reverted, but I understand why Raven wouldn't want to. And the cash thing, there is too much cash right now, and it is annoying, and I want it changed. Because if they made loadouts cost more, everyone would still always have a fucking self-res, for example, and that shit is dumb and cringe, and I don't like it. So either what they would have to do is increase the price of literally everything, or much easier, just have there be less cash and keep prices the same, including the same cost of a loadout, which is 10K. In Caldera, I'm not kidding, 70% of the people I down have self-res. Like, pretty much always. Because there's just so much money. So that's super fucking annoying, and I hope they have less cash. But if they're going to reduce the amount of cash, then definitely don't raise the price of a loadout for sure. Now, what do I think will happen? I don't think Raven is even considering allowing us to buy a loadout whenever we want. Here's why. Here's one of their tweets. We're aware of feedback regarding the loadout adjustment, both for and against the change, so the pacing of this is being reviewed. I think if they were considering allowing us to buy a loadout whenever we wanted, they would have said something like, so this change is being reviewed, or so this restriction is being reviewed. But they said pacing. What that makes me think is that they're considering allowing us to buy a loadout sooner than we can now, but you still can't buy one right away. I think that's what they're considering. So most likely what I see happening is this. The amount of money is just less. You can just loot less money. There's less money around. Good. And then also, you'll be able to buy a loadout. You won't be able to buy a loadout for the first 3 minutes instead of the first 5 minutes. So maybe when the gas first starts moving, that's when you can buy a loadout. And maybe that's when the community one drops as well. I think those are still going to be entangled. I'm almost positive of that, actually. So I think if I had to bet, I would say they're going to allow Lodi, and the community Lodi will drop as soon as gas starts moving in a match. And they're also going to reduce the amount of money that's on the ground, but the cost of everything is going to stay the same. That's what I think is most likely. I don't think this change is getting reverted completely ever.
I don't think it's going to be a complete revert, no. I can just see us being able to buy it earlier. You know, the other thing is, like in Vanguard mode, when you always have fire sales, then it's just, it's like you can't spend money on a loadout. You have all of this money, then you get a fire sale, and it all costs 90% less than it did. So, yeah, I get... And there's more money on the map to start with, obviously. So, yeah, it does kind of lead to weird combinations, but the lobbies undoubtedly die out faster than they did in Verdansk, no matter which mode you play.
True.
And having more money is going to keep them alive because people can buy their teammates back, stuff like that. You can buy a loadout, and all sorts of things. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, another thing with all this money is I've never heard so many precision airstrikes in my fucking life. I have died to random precisions more in a week than I had in a month of Verdansk. Just
every
random
gunfight you get into, someone calls it an airstrike or cluster.
Dude,
yeah.
It's so fucking obnoxious. So yeah, that's what I would say. But if what I think is going to happen, those are both good things as far as I'm concerned. Less cash is good. I'm happy about that if they do it. And an earlier loadout, bang on. Let's do it. I'm happy with both of those things. So if what I think is the case will be the case, and as I've said before, quote me now, link me later, then I will be very excited with this. But for those of you who are operating under the delusion that they are considering allowing you to buy a loadout whenever you want, you're out of your mind. They're not going to do
Activision is not a company that straight reverts anything. No, they don't want to ever admit that they made a mistake. They would never revert anything. They're just going to change it, maybe, but it'll never be how it was in Verdansk, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. And then that's it for Call of Duty, but we have one more. I'm glad you brought this up because I didn't think to add it, but I did see this tweet. We have one very fun and exciting tweet to cover. One of the funniest tweets maybe of this year, of this short year so far.
It's sad, actually.
It's depressing, it's hilarious, it's tragic. Tanner, what do we got here?
I'm going to Twitter to pull the entire thing up. Here we go. Okay. So Tom Henderson found this. It is related to Battlefield 2042. So he's in some cheat discords, to get intel or whatever.
He cheats.
So a cheating provider, I don't know what the name of them are, made this announcement about Battlefield 2042 cheats. And I quote, "We will be discontinuing Battlefield 2042 from our store. All subscriptions will run out as normal, but there won't be any renewals or slots available. You can still use the cheat as normal for the time being. Subscribe with a lifetime sub can change their sub to any COD title. Cringe. The reason for this decision is the ongoing performance issues of the game, which affects the cheat, and most people don't use their subscription anymore since the game is dying." Breaking news, a cheat provider stopped making cheats for a video game because the game is dying and too buggy for their cheat to work correctly. Holy shit. Wow. COD killer. COD's dead. Battlefield's the COD killer. Holy fuck, man. I have never seen such a thing.
Yeah. Yep. I've never heard of of people who sell cheats saying, nah, this game is too dead for us to even allow you to cheat in. That's how dead this game is. Holy fuck, this is funny. It's sad,
Crazy.
though. It is sad.
I know.
Super sad, but super funny. I'm seeing so many people on Twitter like, oh, I quit Battlefield. I saw another one yesterday. Like, I'm done. I'm done playing Battlefield. These devs are fucking terrible. I'm done being abused. I'm over it.
Yeah, I don't know why people keep thinking it's a boomer game. It's a LARP shooter. It's a LARPer. It's a LARPer video game, and every single year these sweats think magically they're going to turn it into a high skill game. No, it's not. It's Battlefield hasn't ever been that. Literally, go play a different game if that's what you're expecting. I don't understand it. You know, Enders is insane. Love watching the guy. Don't know why he always thinks they're going to make the game difficult and not cater to casuals. It is fucking Battlefield. It has always been like as casual of a video game as possible. It's just crazy to me. These people keep expecting something to change.
Yeah, a game where the basic core mode is fucking 60 versus 60 people. Of course that game isn't competitive.
It has tanks and air. Yeah, it's never going to be competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but
it's sad,
the
though.
flop that is Battlefield is surprising.
That's probably the biggest video game flop since Cyberpunk, honestly. It was
easily
hyped up. It was fucking hype. I mean, we were excited for it.
I was, yeah. I canceled my pre-order when the beta came out. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's because even if you expected Battlefield to fail, no one expected it to fail this badly. I mean, more people played Battlefield 5 than this Battlefield, which has been out for less than, 3 months?
Yeah.
Like, that's unprecedented. It is insane. So, yeah, a cheat provider not providing cheats because the game's too much of a fucking mess for them to work and no one plays it? Yikes.
Yeah.
But that is fucking hilarious, yeah. So, that is both fun and exciting.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
So, all right, boys and girls, that's it. We're done. Big, strong episode today. We hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, let us know your thoughts on the program. Join the fucking Discord. You can give us some feedback. Let us know your experience with the Welgun and the game in general. Couple reminders, the 22nd of January, Warzone Roundtable live at thedropshot.com/live. Tune in. We're going to have some new guests, some old returning faces. It's going to be the first roundtable post Caldera. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you're there. And then also the 29th of January, another Saturday, the Dropshot Season 3 patch will be going live on January 29th. We're going to be entering Season 3 of the program. We have a lot of fun and exciting new announcements. We have a lot of community events coming up, a lot of changes coming up. All of it is good. All of it is exciting. All of it is fun. And we have some extra special goodies planned for those of you who are here live for that episode. January 29th at a time. Take the day off work. Be here live at thedropshot.com/live. Just go to thedropshot.com in general because we've got merch. We're selling out at a record pace of all of our items. So get them while you can. We've also got links to the YouTube for video versions of the program. We have linked to all the apps, obviously, and we have links to our Patreon, patreon.com/thedropshot. It's the best way to support the show. Listen, guys, Patreon's the main way we're funded. Oh, don't forget, manscaped.com, promo code Dropshot. We've been 20% off and free shipping. We've been getting yelled at, so make it stop. Go to Manscaped. Shave your nuts. Patreon's the best way to support the show. We get the most of your money there. We get the greatest amount of the dollar you spend via Patreon. So please join the Patreon. We do all of our bonus offerings there, mainly of which is the 5 bonus episodes a month. They're really good. They're really fun. We really enjoy doing them. And we can get really in detail in ways that we normally simply don't on the public episodes. For example, our latest bonus episode 69 was a Warzone brainstorm, super detailed on Warzone. And it was a lot of fun. And all of our patrons love the episodes. That's why we have over 300 of them Be like them, be a Chad, be smart, and help us not go bankrupt. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. We would appreciate your support.
Yeah.
That is it, boys and girls. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Have an excellent evening, of course. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.